Throughout history, whether you are tracing it from the Bible or other available historical accounts, life indeed is a time of limitless possibilities. You will find that there are no real caps and there are no real limitations. The question is, and has always been, what do you want to do? Now, I understand how that this can be a difficult question for some, especially when you are young. And that is why on today's program, we would be profiling a young entrepreneur. And I am sure from her story, you will find the inspiration to go start something. And if you have already started, this show would be for you motivation to do what you are doing even better. You will meet my guest right after the break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
There is a life full of unlimited possibilities. There is a solution to every situation you may be going through. Yes, your life can be beautiful. You can experience complete transformation in every area of your life. Love World Plus Response Center is here to show you how. Contact us through our various platforms for prayers, counseling, inquiry, and contributions. Call the numbers now showing on your screen. Send an email to info@loveworldplus.org or chat live with us at real time. Log on to www.loveworldplus.org. God bless you.
Welcome back. My guest today is a young, passionate entrepreneur. She is the founder and creative director of Ladybug Events, Miss Oluwafunmilayo Sebanjo. You are welcome to Business Connect.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you for having me here.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
First, how old is your business, Ladybug Events?
First, let me use this opportunity first to thank our man of God, my father, Pastor Chris Oyakilume. And I'm so grateful for the knowledge he's impacted in me as a person and for making me understand that I don't have to just sit around and wait for somebody to employ me. Rather, I can go out there and be an employee of labor. How old is my company, you say?
Yes.
We are one.
One?
Yes. We were one April 1st this year.
Almost every business has an interesting startup story.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell us your own startup story? How was it then and how is it now?
Well, my story is a very interesting one because at first it started all when I was in university and I was opportune to come back home for a wedding. And I and my friends were there. We entered and at first we were very excited being there. And we were seated for almost an hour and we hadn't even been given water to drink. And I was already flaring up and getting angry about everything that, why would I be here? And you know, there are waiters here, there's this person here, and we haven't been sorted out. And it just came to my spirit that, why are you complaining? You can as well go ahead and be the change or change this. And from that day, I went back to school and started to read more about event planning and all of that. And I just made up my mind, you know what, this is what I'm going to do.
Why do you think a lot of young people find it difficult to think about starting something, being the change, doing something about what they are experiencing?
My answer to that question is the fear of being the boss. Some people have that fear of, you know what, I start this and what if it doesn't work out? I'm better off just going for a 9 to 5 or go work for somebody else and I'm sure I'll get my pay at the end of the day. It took a lot of courage. It took a lot of convincing myself to say that, you know what, for me, if you go along this path, this is what you want to do, you're passionate about it. I feel to me, if you're passionate about something, you would always, always make the most of it. I always tell people, like, you need to know exactly what you love doing. You need to know every single thing can become an occupation for you. It's about having the drive, having the passion, and being able to take that bold step to become an entrepreneur.
So tell us about your own bold step. How did you take, where were you working before? How did you take the bold step? Give us a bit of a story.
Okay, well, before, after school,
yes,
when everybody was still, oh, yeah, we graduated. The next week, immediately I came back home, I started work. Wonderful. I was opportune to be an intern at another event company where I learned the steps and the processes of actually being an event planner. And after that, I moved on to another company. So it's not like I just got knowledge from one and just went to start my own. I trained myself and learned from the professionals in the business to be able to make myself a better entrepreneur. So from there, I decided one day that, you know what, I think I've learned and I've been able to improve on myself. And my cousin was getting married.
Okay.
And she wasn't in Nigeria. And she needed somebody. Usually, you just used to do it for people and, oh, don't worry, I'll sort that for you. And my friends were like, no, you don't just sort stuff. You collect your money. This can be your business, you know. This can...
It's got to make money.
Exactly. And my cousin said, for me, this is the time. And she told me, this is what I want, this is what I want. And at first, I was really scared. I wouldn't deny that. I was like, oh, this is actually my reality right now.
Yeah. And
everything I was taught, I had to put it to work at that point. And at the end of the day, my first event, I had over 750 people there.
Wow.
And especially when it's family, you are trying hard to make them know that this thing I'm doing has to work. And I was so excited after the wedding because it was all,
and how
you
about
did
the
a
bride?
good
Was
job.
she excited?
She sent me a long episode just thanking me for everything.
So now, this internship that you did right after school, you applied for it, or how did you get the internship?
I paid for it, actually.
Oh,
I paid to learn.
Wonderful.
Because I feel when you pay for something, you are more focused than when you get it for free. Because if I had gotten it for free, I wouldn't want to wake up as early as 5:30 in the morning just to dress up to be there.
Okay. So, when people talk about starting up, they say it's so difficult, you know, you're very inexperienced, you didn't know a lot of things. That inexperience in any way, was that a challenge to you when you started? Because, I mean, you're still 1 year, so you're learning
I
a lot of
wouldn't
things.
say I was inexperienced because, like I said, I already trained myself. So I would say I had to better myself because now, as a front man, I had to now be in the face of every other person. Before, I was like the backdoor person and the second in command, so to speak. Now I had to make decisions. I had to be the one. So I was learning. I wouldn't say I was inexperienced. I had to learn now properly about what to do.
How was that role change from second person
in
to
command
first man to first person? Is it very different, or was it like, well, I just flowed?
Well, I tried to flow, even though some people couldn't believe I was the first in command.
Okay.
They'd just be like, oh, you this young lady, or you this young person? And I had to prove to them, you know, it's all about proving to people that I'm the boss over here and I know what I'm doing. So that it was quite easy for me to transition from the second in command to first in command.
First in command. Okay, now, as first in command now, you actually entered an event space that one can define as saturated. There's a lot of people playing. There are a lot of big players, younger players. All kinds of people are there. And you entered that same space.
I know.
Why did you do that? And why do you think that you will be uniquely successful in that space?
I'm a child of Pastor Chris. I'm a child of many words. And at first, clearing your head off of the doubts. In every industry, there are a lot of people. In every industry, there are a lot of people. And it takes your faith and your conviction to know that no matter what happens, I'm going to make it out of here.
Yes.
People always say there are a lot of event planners, there are a lot of, but at the end of the day, there are also a lot of banks, and they still get their customers, and they make their money. So I'm not different from those people, because I know that 10, 15 years, you're still going to be hearing about me.
So if I pick two things from you, you said clearing the doubt.
Yes.
And being very convinced that you will make it.
I would make it no matter what challenge, no matter what Nigeria is saying.
That mindset has really helped you in building a business.
Yes, it has, in a lot of ways.
Okay. In your experience, what have you learned about customer management, customer service, all right, that you think could benefit other entrepreneurs watching you now?
I always tell people, and one thing I make sure I do, first, I make the customer my friend. That is my #1 rule. Before I start to talk about your wedding or whatever event you're trying to plan, I try to become a friend first, to understand your thinking, to understand what exactly you want. And I think that has differentiated me from other people.
Okay.
I always make people my friends first.
The friend card.
The friend
You play
card.
the friend
I
card.
play the friend card so well. And then move
What if
into
the person doesn't want to be your friend? Sorry.
I make you my friend. No matter how much you don't want to be my friend,
Okay.
I make you my friend.
All right.
Then I'm able to now understand how to operate and how to relate with you properly.
Okay. So, this customer relationship management, your strategy is befriending.
Befriend your clients first.
But have you had a situation whereby you were friends with the customer and then the customer was very demanding or was very troublesome, and that friendship was difficult to maintain?
Talking about that, I just remembered a client of mine. And at first, when I met her, she was all form of saucy. And when you show people or somebody love, they have no choice but to be nice to you.
Oh, nice. True.
Yeah. So at first, she was all, I want this, I want that. And one day I called her, I want to take you out today.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. And she was like, sorry, I don't understand you. And I said, yes, I want to, out of all of this we're doing, I want to take you out today. And we had a nice time. It was as if we had been friends for so long. And after that, she sent me a message and said, I'm so glad you are my event planner. Because why? I was able to gain her confidence, and I was able to make her know that outside of this we're doing, I still want to be able to talk to you as my friend and as my client, because I know from that relationship, you're going to want to tell everybody about me.
Yes.
Which is what I feel customer service is all about. Keep leaving your mark with the person you're working for or working with.
I think the goal of excellent customer service is referral. You want people to talk about
me everywhere.
So is it expensive to start a business? Would you say it's expensive? Because people say, I don't have capital, I don't have this, I don't have... Is it expensive to start a business?
That capital issue has been the challenge for most entrepreneurs. Most people feel you have to have the millions for you to start. I started with the savings I had from school to start up, and it wasn't so much. It wasn't anything so significant that anybody would think you can use to start your business. But it takes a step. For anybody or any investor to want to invest in you, they have to see that you've worked hard for them to be able to put their money into your business. So that was my first step. Regardless of whether I had a lot of money at that point in time to start, I still decided I was going to start. And from the proceeds you get from the business, power business you do, then you can be able to improve on your company and improve on your business. So it's not as hard as a lot of people think it is, depending on the kind of business you want to do. It is not as hard as you think. Even a 1 naira can start you off with something.
Because I was talking with a gentleman one time, a young guy, he just came out of school, and he wanted to start a business, and he said he needed XYZ amount of money. Was a huge sum for his marketing, so that he will be popular and so that people will know him and he can be getting clients and he'll be able to break even. Do you spend so much money on your marketing right now?
Thankfully, the social media and technology age has made it easier for any entrepreneur to push. You don't have to be on TV for your first, advert.
Yes.
You have social media accounts. Why don't you open a King's Chat? Why don't you open a UCOS? There are so many means you can use to push your business out there. And somebody can actually see you and say, you know what, I want to help you. I want to be an investor.
Yes.
I want to push you out there. Marketing is not as hard as it was back in 15 years ago. It's
when
either
you
TV
buy
or
a commercial.
I know,
or
it's
jingle.
either TV or radio, either or not. So why don't you start from there? Then the monies you get from your contracts, you cannot go for the big boys, the TV and whatever you want to do.
It's important that we make use of the materials we have available to us, whether it is Cflix, King's Chat, or UCOS. You make use of the materials and publicize your business and start. Somebody will see you. At least one more eye plus your own. That's 2. Will see you. All right? So we're going to go on a short break now. When we come back, we will take this discussion even further. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Level Plus is now on your mobile format and connects you in real time. You can now watch your favorite programs, episodes, live shows, prayer shows, features, live TV, archived videos, and lots more. You can also participate with your comments and contributions from anywhere in the world. Download on any of your mobile device, whether it's Android or iOS or Windows, the Level Plus mobile app now and stay connected. Level Plus, totally you.
Welcome back. This is still Business Connect, and I'm chatting with my special guest, Oluwafunmilayo Sebanjo. She is the founder and managing director of Ladybug Events, an event management company that is 1 year at the time of this recording. So, for me, 1 year, 365 days later, when you look back, has it been a great decision to start a business in the country, in Nigeria? Has it been a great decision?
When I look back, all I can say is I'm very proud of myself. That's my first answer to you. I'm very proud of myself. That despite all that is going on here, and despite people saying, you know, there's no job or this isn't flowing properly, I'm still here standing. Because people always tell you, oh, the first 5 years or the first few years in starting up a business are the most difficult years.
Very hard.
And I can say, yes, sometimes you just feel like there's nobody calling you or there are no customers. But at the end of the day, when they call you for big things. And then you cannot just be proud and say, you know what, I'm glad I started this. I'm glad I made the decision to be an entrepreneur.
So have you ever had this situation whereby you were hoping and waiting and wishing for a customer and you just sat by the phone? What did you do if you ever had that situation?
At first, when I started, after the first wedding I did, I had another one.
Okay.
And after that, it just seemed that everything just went cold. And I just woke up one morning and said, you know what, nah. And I got on my knees and started praying. I prayed and prayed. And after I just said, thank you, Lord Jesus, I got a call.
Wow.
I tell you.
Wow.
And this lady called me that, hi, am I on to Fumi? I'm like, yes, please, who am I speaking with? Said, hi, my name is so and so. And I saw your company on Instagram. And I'm like, oh, wow. Just Instagram, nobody referred you. And the interesting thing was she was calling from the US.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I'd never met her. She doesn't know anybody that knows me. And she said, I saw your company on Instagram and I want you to plan my wedding. And I was just telling her, like, you do not know what you have just done. I just got off my knees praying for a client. And you were the first person God sent to me. Wonderful. So anytime I just feel like I need more people, I get on my knees and pray.
That's the way everybody should run a business.
Everybody should run a business.
And you work.
Pray
you work very hard.
Now,
the first few encounters you had, now was there a major challenge or setback or something that you thought, oh my God, I wish I handled that better? Or looking back now, maybe 4 months down the line, 6 months down the line, you say, oh, I wish I'd handled this experience better. How did you have such an experience and how did you bounce back?
The reason I love my job so much is everybody is different. It is not a regular, you do things uniquely for every single person you meet. And you always learn. So sometimes you plan for, say, 300 people and 1,000 people show up.
Whoa.
And at first, your first reaction is, Lord Jesus, how do I go about this? But then again, that's the beauty about being passionate about what you do. Solutions come to you right there and then. And at the end of the day, when everything is calmer and you think back, you know that you have preventive measures you have to always put in place for every event. So that's how most of the times I'm able to bounce back. It's like for every event, I always try to, what if? I always ask myself the question, what if, and I have my plan B waiting ahead for me.
So for anybody who wants to go into this space where you are, or anybody who is even going to any industry who says, oh, there's a lot of people there. I need to learn how to differentiate myself. I want to differentiate myself with this advertising, that advertising. From what you're saying, there are no tenable excuses, really.
Yes, no excuse.
Would we be sensitive enough if we're saying there are no tenable excuses on this set right now?
I will tell you again, you are not the only person doing what you do. You are not the only person. What makes you unique is the ideas you bring to demarcate yourself from others. And that is what I'm all about. And that is what I'm building my company on. A uniqueness. I'm making people understand that, yes, there might be a lot of people out there, but this is what we stand for, and this is what we do. to show everybody that this is different. This is not the regular event planner you know or you meet. So I'll tell you again, as an entrepreneur, no matter whatever you want to go into,
Yes.
make your mark and make yourself different from others. That is my...
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, listening to you, you place a lot of premium on learning. First of all, you learned at 2 places even before you started.
Yes,
and then even after starting, I understand you still do a lot of programs and you keep training yourself.
Yeah.
How important is learning and development to successful entrepreneurship?
Even our man of God to tell us, you should always read. Read. You don't know everything. Because you have to be able to understand everybody and everything. So learn every day. There's always something new out there for you to learn. Train yourself to know these things, to be able to face any challenge and come out boldly.
Yes.
Sometimes you can say, oh, I think I know it. But when you are actually in that situation, you actually realize that, oh, wow, I actually didn't know it. So, but when you are trained, or you train yourself, or learn these things, it's easier for you to conquer any other thing that comes your way. So I pride myself in learning new things every other time.
Yes, yes, it's important, especially when you're reading and,
Yes.
and watching videos and studying in that industry.
In that industry.
Because at that point, you're intellect for intellect with the best in the world.
Exactly.
So a lot of iron is sharpening iron.
Exactly.
And then you're getting better. And then you now do something, everybody's like, wow.
Wow.
But that comes from learning.
I know.
Okay, now, some entrepreneurs have started, you know, they started something and then it didn't quite work out and then they had to, you know, they are now trying to gather themselves now. So what word of advice can you give to those kind of people? If they're watching you now, you started something, didn't quite pan out and you're trying to get back up again, you've lost some money, you've lost some friends, you know.
I'll tell you that take a step back, review the things that made you make wrong decisions. Review the things that made you lose the monies you lost. Review the things that you could have done better. Sit back and make a plan. The problem is most people just start businesses and don't even have a plan.
Yes.
You wake up one morning, oh, I feel this is right, and go into it. What is your plan? How do you see yourself in the next 5 years, 10 years? What is the benchmark you're giving yourself? What timelines are you working with? Sit back and actually plan so that you don't make the same mistakes you made starting off at first. So I always tell people, you have this idea, oh great, what are your plans? What are your future expectations for this? Sit down, plan, I want this, I want that, in this duration of time. Always plan. Business is not as easy as, you know, because you're working for somebody, you don't know what the MD or CEO is thinking.
Yes.
All you want to do is, you know what, I want my money at the end of the day. I don't care what this person is going through. But as a CEO now, I've come to understand that whether or not there's a customer that month, I still have to pay my people.
Yes, you have to.
What is my plan for the month? Because I don't want to, in the next 5 years, I'll be like, oh, yes, I remember when I was in business. I want to remain there. And I always have to talk to people in the management sector, in every other industry that concerns your business. Talk to them and they give you advice and you're able to run with this.
Wonderful. Now, that plan, I always advise people, and I don't know if you agree with me, that it should be written down. You must write it down.
Yes.
And every part of your business should be planned to the best of your, you know, they say a business plan is a whole bunch of assumptions. Yeah, but assume anyway. I think people should go ahead and assume anyway.
Your assumptions will always remind you what you need to do. Because if you just have it at the back of your head, you can wake up tomorrow and you just, oh, I thought of something yesterday. But you wouldn't remember until you write it down.
Put it down on paper.
Put it down on paper. Work area now, I have my papers all around my wall. So if I lift up my head, I'm able to see and remind myself every day
of what you want to
what
accomplish.
Exactly I want to accomplish.
That's beautiful. So you keep that in front of you. I think that young people should task themselves with thinking more towards how to solve the problem of unemployment than gathering in groups and complaining about unemployment. Because I tell people that I think that the mind was created and fashioned to solve problems. The mind naturally will find a way if you just apply it and go ahead and find a way. And talking about finding a way, now, this is the final question. I am curious, even though I understand where you're coming from because
Yes,
because you're in the ministry. But I'm curious, why do you think, as a young person, that you will be successful in this same industry? And now let me give a background to this. Now, several other people, maybe with older people with more experience, some with more capital, have come in here and they packed their things and left. They said, I can't take it, I can't take it. Even doing business in Nigeria alone, say, oh, I can't take it. But why do you think that you are going to be very successful in this, your venture?
Like you said, you already know where I'm coming from. So I want to thank God again for positioning me rightly in this ministry. Because since I got here, I've made myself aware of who I am. And I don't think defeat. I don't think I'm going to fail. I make sure everything I do, it's in line with future plans. It's in line with being a success forever. So when you tell me, why am I sure? I'm very sure because I know God says I'm here to stay. So I'll tell you again, next 20, 25 years, 50 years, I'll still be here.
We can have this chat again, right?
I know. You call me back and I will tell you more of my success stories.
Oh, wonderful, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. You know, the way you think, the confidence with which you think is obviously, I mean, it's obvious that you have a lot of content. You've built a lot of the Word of God into you, which is very important for success in life. Pastor tells us that if you can trust in the Word and keep it inside you, nothing can stand against you successfully. And that's a fact. And on that note, we're rounding off today's edition of Business Connect. I want to thank my special guest, Oluwafunmilayo Sebanjo. Thank you so much for coming on Business Connect. It's been wonderful chatting with you, and it's been very inspiring hearing your own story.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Now, remember, you can watch these broadcasts and previous editions of Business Connect on www.lovelplus.org. To interact with us via social media, go to our community on UCOS. It's www.ucos.com/groups/businessconnect. I'm sure it's going to scroll on the screen in a moment. And follow our super user account on King's Chat. The super user account is called Lover Plus. So just search for super users and you're going to see Lover Plus. The addresses are all scrolling on the screen right now. And we promise to reply as many messages as we can. We sure will come your way again. And until then, you just keep winning.